Welcome to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman, coming to you from beautiful Low Country Produce in beautiful downtown Beaufort. We have a great show lined up for you this afternoon, so stay tuned. Welcome to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman, coming to you from downtown Beaufort and Low Country Produce. I'm here this afternoon joined by our new city manager, Bill Prokop. Welcome.
Thank you.
I want to first start out by congratulating you on your new position.
Thank you very much.
And as a new city manager, I know there's a lot going on, but could you start off by telling us some of the priorities that you have as a city manager here in Beaufort?
Priorities for myself and the staff at the city is to build a sustainable, long-term program that covers cost and revenue, number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, economic or business development,
Absolutely.
which is certainly needed in this area. And number three, to have a workforce that is really dedicated and committed, which they are, but properly trained and giving customer service to all our citizens. Mm-hmm. Those are our three objectives.
Yeah, and those are some pretty big ones.
Yes, they are.
Definitely, and ones that I think probably most of our viewers could agree with are ones to have at the top of your list. I know there are a lot of different projects going on. We had Councilman Murray here not too long ago. And one of the things he talked about is the Beaufort Street, or the Boundary Street project rather, and how that's really going to be a big deal. Can you give us any update or latest news on how that construction is going or will go? Well,
the latest news is, as you know, this program is a combination county and city project. Mm-hmm. It's managed by the county, and construction bids or the requests for bids will have gone out on May 18th, and they will be due back this month by the 22nd of June. By the time they're reviewed by the engineering staffs, the Department of Transportation, and again approved by both city and county council, it will probably be the end of August. So construction will start in the beginning of September.
Okay.
We're hoping.
We're hoping, right? So a little bit of time before that starts, but good information for viewers to know that that can be something that they need to anticipate, that construction will start sometime in early to mid-September. But along those same lines, you can't talk about construction without thinking about budget, and that's been a big ticket item here in Beaufort and been in the news. And that there's a shortfall, about a $700,000 shortfall. How much more do you think we can feel in terms of cuts when you're looking at that type of budget shortfall?
Well, at this point, we've got the shortfall a little bit less than the 700.
Good, that's good.
we're down under 500, but I guess my best way to describe it is we have to stop kicking the can down the street. Basically, we're on a dead-end street, and there's no further place to kick it. And our issue is not expenses, it's revenue. Mm-hmm. And the biggest problem we have is our population, depending on what statistical one you want to look at, is between 12,500 and 13,000 people. Mm-hmm. That's our citizens, that's where they pay their tax base. But we're serving 65,000 people every day, and we have to provide those services. So that the tax basis that we have is only on the 12,000. But the services that are required are just unbelievable. An example, just our street budget, just for maintaining the streets, and when you drive up the street you see it's mowed and taken care of. Street budget's like $960,000. $750,000 of that is state roads, because the state doesn't have the money to take care of their own roads. So Beaufort, like many other cities and towns, are taking care of state assets because the state doesn't have the funding to do it.
And it's something that the population, of course, expects.
The population, and again, whether you go to Waterfront Park, the marina, these are our gems. People want to really look at those. But we also have 18% of our assessed property, actually $360 million, pays no taxes. That's a problem.
It is a problem. The numbers just don't add up.
They don't add up. If they were taxable, it's $1 million of revenue. We wouldn't have a shortage.
Got it. So obviously what comes to mind is not only the beauty of our city, but the safety of our city. So public safety, we all expect is one of our most basic government services. How much of that city budget goes to providing police and fire services?
Police and fire services take almost 50% of our budget, our total budget. Police is probably a little bit larger. When I say it is larger, it's probably 2/3, and the fire department's 1/3 of that. But again, we cover a distance from out past the air station, the Marine Air Station, out to our own airport. And with the new Walmart coming, we'll be covering that. So it's like a 21, 22-mile distance.
Radius, yeah.
And in between that, it's not the city property, but we have to cover what is our property. So that's one of the major issues, but also all our departments. An example, our police department's budget this year is less than it was in 2014. We have less people, certified officers today, than we had in 1999. We had 48 in 1999, we have 46 today.
And with a population that we see that's continuing to grow and increase.
But not only the population, in 1999, I believe the area we covered was 10.7 square miles. We're now covering 27 square miles.
More than twice that, with almost 3 times.
And the population growth, and as everyone knows, we're the center for all of the cities or towns that are growing around us, whether it's Ladies Island, whether it's Burton. If you want to go to the movies, you want to go to a restaurant, where are you going?
Downtown Beaufort, yeah. So is there a way that the average citizen can keep up with these budget talks and as you're moving through the budget process and looking at how to basically fill the shortfalls?
Well, I think there's several things. One, the citizen, if they have any questions, they are always welcome to come to City Hall or just call us and say, this is my question, number one. Number two, we were the first in South Carolina, we got a write-up on this. On our website is something called OpenGov. Anybody can go on that, go onto the website, go on to finance, and then to OpenGov, and they can take all the numbers we had for the last 5 years and take police department, as you were, or fire department, what percentage of that has been the budget. They can see what the trends are. They could look at that. So that information is there, and it's one of the most transparent things we, as I said, just got acknowledgement of being the first in South Carolina to offer that.
Offer that to us.
Second, we have public hearings on the budget are going to be the second Tuesday of this month and the fourth Tuesday. Public is invited to come and weigh in on what they like or dislike at all times. We have a Facebook page and we have our website. But I think the most important, and also the third Wednesday of every month, we host what's called a neighborhood meeting. And the different neighborhoods that we have, whether it be Pigeon Point or Mossy Oaks or whoever, they all come to a meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning at City Hall. And if they have any concerns or they want to have a question, it's discussed with all the department heads in these neighborhoods. So we welcome people and want to know what's the concerns of the citizens.
Great, that's really, really good to know. One final question before we wrap up. You talked a little bit about fire services. We know we're building a new fire station on Rebo Road. Can you give us any update on that project?
Yeah, the fire station, actually the walls are going up now, and with any luck, the floors will be poured tomorrow if it doesn't rain. And the station should be ready by late fall.
That's wonderful. So it seems to be on track, and it's right on Rebo Road next to the community.
So far on track, and as far as we know, on budget,
there you
and hopefully
go.
on time.
Excellent. All those things matter. Well, we so appreciate you coming and being on the show today, sharing some of the priorities you have for the city of Beaufort, stepping into your new role. We hope we have the opportunity to have you as a guest again on North of the Broad.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be here. Thank you very much.
We'll be right back with our next guest on North of the Broad.